This scarecrow looks like E.T. I'm 50 kilometers away. This is the biggest slug I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how to I do not have a small foot. It is absolutely giant. And with snails, I will often like pick them up off of the sand, gravel pathway and move them off to the side because I know the gravel is hard on them because clearly they collect it on them, but I am not touching that thing. He's gonna just have to make it over there on his own. It is disgusting. Most of my walk today has been through these vineyards, and it has been absolutely gorgeous. Just lined with vineyards on either side. Some of the pathway has actually been like through, like covered by the grapes. But yeah, very cool, very pretty. This is the best greeter I've had so far. It's day 20 and I have already made it to my Albergue for the day. I was very slow. It took me like 3.5 hours to walk, like, I don't know, not very far. But I was very slow today. But I'm here. The walk today was lovely. It was through lovely vineyards, most of it. It's been overcast all day, so it hasn't been terribly sunny, which is good. And it hasn't been super humid, which is also very good. I'm in a pretty tiny little town, but it's nice. Tomorrow I have to get to Padrón. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and then Thursday I'm staying at a place in between Padrón and Santiago, and then Friday I'll get to Santiago. Tomorrow I have pretty much the full stage, so I have to, it's like almost 10 miles. But then the next 2 days are pretty light, and on purpose. I didn't want to be like exhausted when I walked into Santiago. I wanted to have time to be able to spend time at the cathedral and get my certificate and you know, do the things, and then check into my hotel and rest and relax and stuff. So that is kind of my week. And yeah, that's all for me. I will check back in there. I'm here having dinner. I have not quite figured out the schedule of things here. Every time I go someplace, like at what I consider lunchtime, the kitchens have closed for from breakfast to lunch, because I think they have lunch from like 1 to 3 or something, and then they close again, and then they open up later. And so now I'm like, oh no, it's super late. I better hurry and run, get something for dinner. But it's like 7:30 in the evening, but nothing's open yet. So I haven't quite figured out like the rhythm of things here in Spain, or like when places are going to be open, or you know, whatever. But I was thinking that I didn't talk about the dinner we had last night at the Albergue. It was like a Camino dinner. The guy that runs the Albergue made a soup for everyone, and we like he was not going to start dinner until everyone came. He set plates for everyone that was there, and he went and rounded them all up and was like, you are eating dinner with us whether you like it or not, and we're all waiting for you until you get in there, which I thought was actually really quite nice and kind. But I did think that was kind of funny. But he was such a nice man. It was an ochre and collard greens soup. So very nutritious. And the broth was like a chicken broth, so it was actually pretty good. And you know, certainly filling. And then there was boiled eggs and cherries and bread and plenty of wine. One of the ladies there said, "No vino, no camino," which I thought was pretty funny. Anyway, and then he had to like go to like a football game or something. And so he felt really bad. He apologized up and down for having to leave dinner, but he gave a toast and made us all like gave a toast for everybody so we could have dinner, and then he left for his appointment. But when he came back, he made a point to go around to everybody and tell them good night and bien camino. And then he had breakfast ready this morning. It was the leftover bread and fruit and jams and gracias. Anyway, it was a really wonderful experience, and I have now run into a girl that I met at an albergue a few nights ago, a few times, and we're staying in the same city tonight. We're not staying in the same albergue tonight, but I ran into her just a few minutes ago, and she was chatting with somebody else that was staying at the same albergue. I didn't remember seeing him. She's a lot more social and chatty than I am. But she was telling me about him, and he is 84, and he has done the Camino every year for the last 20 years. And he was saying the very first Camino he ever did, so he must have been like 64, still quite old to do your first Camino. He said it was snowing and raining. They got to Saint-Jean-Pied-Port in France, and you know, like their first night or their first day, it was snowing, and there was only 2 other pilgrims there, and one of them was this German man, and he said he made it like 50 meters, and was like, nope, F this, I'm done, I'm not going any further. And the German man was an amputee and had a prosthetic leg, and he said he told him that all he needed was a cane, and here, have mine. And the amputee gave him his cane and then walked behind him the rest of the way and would just yell at him like, walk, walk, walk. And I thought, like, there is nothing more motivating to get you to walk than to have a man with a prosthetic leg that gave you his cane yelling at you to keep walking from behind you. But he said they made it 30 kilometers that day, and you know, he wouldn't have done it without him. So I just thought that was an interesting story, and what an amazing man he is for being the age he is and still doing the Camino. And like, I mean, he's doing better than I am. Anyway, I just thought that was an incredible story. And then again, last night at dinner, we were talking about sort of like the Camino provides kind of concept. And one of the girls there at the dinner was telling us about how there was one day she was just really struggling. She was tired, she was hungry, and she's like, you know what, I could just really eat a bunch of raspberries right now. And she just was thinking about it, and then like she kept walking, and like 10 minutes later she came across this huge field of wild raspberries, and she was just like so amazed. And then it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember, somewhere along the way I picked up a pin, and had just pinned it to my backpack, but at some point I had lost it a couple days ago, and my pin. And I was just sitting off the side of the road just taking a rest, and this man walked up to me and he said, "Is this your pin?" and handed me my pin. It had been hours. I had lost it hours before. I don't know where he found it, if he had just been asking everyone along his way, or if he somehow knew it was me and was waiting to catch up to me. I don't know, but I thought it was such an amazing story that like hours earlier I had lost this pin somewhere on the route. I mean, it could have fallen in the bushes and nobody would have ever seen it again. I mean, it was just pretty amazing that he was able to find it and get it back to me. It doesn't have a back, but now it's like the most amazing pin I've ever owned in my life. So anyway, those are my stories for today. I do have a big day tomorrow. My reservation is in Padrón, and I'd really like to make it there because you know, I really want to get to Santiago on Friday, and I don't want to like push it out any further. So I'm really planning on pushing myself to get to Padrón. I've been spending the afternoon doing a lot of yoga. I expect to do some more when I get into bed tonight, to really try to like get my muscles prepped and ready. I've got a huge bottle of like, it's not Powerade, but an energy drink with electrolytes and stuff to make sure that I'm really well hydrated and just really ready to go. So anyway, and then I'm just going to try to get up early in the morning and head out pretty early so that if I did need to like go slowly and rest and stuff, I had that opportunity to do so. But that's all. I will check back in tomorrow. Bien Camino.